Bonjour à tous, hello to everyone. Welcome to the French world. I'm Krisha, and today we'll be doing a very important tense in French, which is called le futur simple, or, it, or in English we can say it as the simple future. So let's move forward to understand what exactly this tense is all about. So the futur simple is a tense which is used to express actions that are going to definitely happen in the near future. So the English equivalent to this would be using I will do this or I am going to do this. So let's move forward. Now we have the formation of this tense. So for the formation of future sampler is very straightforward. For the most regular verbs, we have two types. Under the regular verb section, we have two types, ER, IR, and secondly the RE verbs. So for most ER and IR verbs, we take the infinitive form of the verb and we just add the endings of specific future sampler endings to these infinitive form of the verbs. And for the RE verbs, we are going to drop the E out of the RE and then we're going to add the infinitive endings. So for the six categories of personal pronouns, which is je, te, il, nous, vous, il pluriel, we have with je we're going to add the infinitive form and ai. With you we're going to add the infinitive form plus as. With il we're going to add a, nous, ons, vous, ez, and il pluriel ont. So it looks like, or as I used to revise earlier when I was studying, it used to look like AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, and ENT. Let's move forward. Let's look at certain examples of the regular form of ER and IR verbs. So we have parler, which means to speak. It is an ER verb, so we are going to make it as je parlerai, tu parleras, il parlera, elle parlera, nous parlerons, vous parlerez, and il pluriel or elle pluriel parlons. For finir, it looks exactly the same. Je finirai, tu finiras, il finira, nous finirons, vous finirez, ils finiront. The same for vendre. Vendre is a RE verb, so we're going to remove the E from here and add the same endings AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, and ONT. Let's move forward. Now we have the irregular verbs, how to make the future sample of this. So for making future sample of these verbs, if for some reason French just simply does not take the infinitive forms of these verbs, so we have to form a new root form of these verbs to add the future sample endings towards. So some common verbs I've added here like aller to go. So we're not going to add the future sample endings to aller, we're going to add it to IR. So this becomes a new step. So it becomes j'irai, tu iras. So we take this IR and then we add AI, AS, etc. all the endings to this IR. So here are certain new examples to this as well. Avoir, être, faire, venir, pouvoir, voir, vouloir, savoir, recevoir, courir, mourir, and envoyer. So we're going to make different root forms of this. With aller it becomes IR, avoir, or, être, faire, faire, venir, viendre, pouvoir, pour, voir, vers, vouloir, voudre, savoir, sort, recevoir, receive, courir, cour, mourir, mour, and with envoyer it becomes envers. Let's move forward. So we have two other exceptions of this as well, verbs which end in OEA or UA. So usually this Y or the Y often changes to an I. The example is the normal infinitive form of the verb is netoye, but when we make future sampler we replace this Y with an I, so it becomes netoye. Pronunciation remains the same, it's just a written tactic. And also some verbs have an accent change, like when we write ashate normally, it does not have any accent. But when we make a future sample out of it, we are going to add a backwards or an accent graph, so it becomes jashatere. Again, we don't need to go deep into the logic of it, we can just memorize it that it is the way it is. Then what are the cases where future sample is used? How to know when to use it? So future sample it is used in several contexts to express a future action or event. So tomorrow I will work. Demain je travaillerai. Elle voyagerait en France l'année prochaine. She will travel to France the next year. It is also used to make predictions that it will be nice tomorrow. Il fera beau demain. To make promises or commitments you're very sure of. I will call you tonight. I will make sure of calling you tonight. Je te téléphonerai ce soir. Then we also use it in certain grammar tactics like the C clauses. Like if this happens, then this will happen. Si tu étudies, if you study, tu réussiras. You will succeed. The last use of future sampler we have is of to express polite requests or orders. It is like just to sound a bit more decent than polite. Boomer donare votre rapport demain. You will give me your report tomorrow. So it can sound like a polite command and not so crude. Lastly, we have some key points to remember when we are making with the sampler. It is a tense. There's also another tense with the prosh or near future. So we are not to confuse both these tenses because future prosh is something that is only going to happen within 1 hour, and future sampler is something that will happen even though after 1 hour, but whatever comes after that in the timeline. So je vais manger. I am just going to eat. It is future prosh. Je mangerai. I will eat. It is future sampler. Okay, and the lastly, here are certain indicators in which sentences we must use with your sampler when we talk about demain tomorrow, après demain the day after tomorrow, la semaine prochaine, le mois prochain, next week, next month, etc. So merci beaucoup. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Please check out more videos and posts by the French World by Krisha. Au revoir. Goodbye.